I thought I would just go ahead and do another video. I don't even know, I don't even know if people are going to be getting the videos. I don't know what people have power. My power is like glitched twice where it's like warning shot. And so I don't know. They've got like 1,100 fires across America. I don't even know all of the other places. Like we're full on in attack. And they've got the fires are, of course, not getting put out. And so Tacoma, there's so many places on fire. There's planes crashing. There's all sorts of crazy shit. And I like I said, I don't even know who all's got power, how close they are to the attacks. And there was more stuff coming out with Hawaii, like this is such a land grab, and it's so disgusting. All the stuff coming out about it is so sickening. And then the history, it wasn't even supposed to be one of our states. It was occupied, it was taken. They have been fighting it. And then these corporations that just go in and turn it into a touristy place. You know what's weird too is I went to Maui, like because my favorite place was always Mexico. I always wanted to go to Mexico. I like to go into other cultures. I don't like to just go to the resort. I like to go in and experience other places. And so when I went to Hawaii, I think my youngest girls and my husband and I went, and I think they were teenagers. The other girls, I think, already had kids. And so I don't know, I would say it had to be like 18 years ago or something. I would say 50, way over 15 years ago. I would say probably around 18 years ago. And when I went, I was just like, oh, I don't really get all the hype. I don't get it. I did not see it as being, I thought it was like expensive, it was overcrowded. It was like the culture was gimmicky. It was like all these shows and you had to pay all this money. It was, and all these resorts, and everything was about all of the little day trips and stuff. And it was just so gimmicky and stuff. And I kept saying, it just feels like we're in Southern California. I don't feel like I'm somewhere different. It was because they were like they weren't giving the real culture. They were overriding the system, and they were putting in, what they wanted. And then if the people wanted jobs, then they had to sell their souls and go in and participate in the tourism. And there's so much stuff coming out about that kind of stuff, all that's coming to the surface. And but in regards to the fire, more horrific shit is coming out. Like they turned the water off to the houses. Nobody could get their water to come on. There's people out there turning on their hoses and stuff, and nobody's water would work. the There's more stuff about how the frequency weapons work, and why they want us to be filled with metals, like what happens in a microwave when you put a fork. That's why they have put all these into us. And so those people, who have a lot of metal in them, I guess, they weren't letting people see the bodies and stuff. And so, but cars and shit were melted, but trees are standing. I feel like kind of protected with all the trees around me, but dude, I don't know. And they turned off the alarm system. They sent all the they had all the kids stay home that day. That was just a sudden, like, oh, no school today, everybody. And so there was no notification. Like, there's not even, we're not even hearing about how many children were wiped out, and all these pets and all these older people. And it was an attack on these people. It was such an attack on these people. They've been after their land. You know, they're always after these islands, these rich people. And I just saw something so disgusting because you keep seeing all of these people talking about they've got these investors and these real estate agents that are already have hunted them down. And it's disgusting. And, but I saw, you know, a white tourist guy who has like his condo there or something, and his place got burned. And so the realtors and stuff have already come in and showed them the plans, what they're going to do to rebuild the area. And he's just so excited about it. He's investing fully. I was like, well, what a colonizer you are. I so much get like this colonizing thing now, like where I didn't really completely get it. I kept feeling like the shit they say and stuff, like it was just kind of a divisive thing. But now I see like what is it's a mentality. It is like, you know, seeing these people as not being worthy, you know, they're natives, you know, not caring and thinking that, you know, you're more valuable or something. Their way of life doesn't matter, that it's their God-given land and that it was stolen from them and that it doesn't matter, and that they will come in and attack and murder and take things from people. And, you know, apparently, you know, when it's all about the money, then people just turn a blind eye. And but one of the things too is just like that movie that I saw yesterday. I saw a video today where somebody did all this history about the royal families of the islands and stuff. And I saw somebody else talking about Easter Island and their tribe and how they've been pushed back. And then I saw another one talking about that when you go and you do the DNA on the Cherokee and other tribes, when they go to the reservations and do them, but a lot with the Cherokee, it was so huge, is that they're all Jewish. That is what I keep saying. There's things about this tribe stuff. And I saw another person, indigenous person, and she looked like we would consider her white, but there would be still some ethnic blood in there. And that is what they've done something, you know, to try and remove culture and remove bloodlines or something. I'm not sure all of it, but so in the Netherlands, these indigenous people are fighting for their rights too. And so there's a whole group of those people who are being shut back. Like all of these different fights that go on are constantly with these indigenous people being attacked and moved out of their sacred lands, the place that they have developed their societies. That is their land. And then we come in and occupy them and take them over and tell them their history doesn't matter, what they think doesn't matter. Oh, another thing too that's a weird little side note is the mayor apparently of the area was also just so happened to be the sheriff or something involved with the Las Vegas shooting thing. So, you know, he's hitting the situations, the scenarios or something. They got reused players or something. You know, they've run out of bad guys apparently, so they're just reusing players. Oprah's out there front and center, and it just so happens, you know, her acreage didn't get burned, but it's near the other stuff where the fire was. From what it keeps sounding like, people are saying that she is near there, her 850 acres, but hers just wasn't touched at all. But just opens up all this acreage for her to swoop in. And then and then this big fire in Houston is something about her again, something with her stuff. I just think they're really putting her on the main stage, and I just hope this is her big exposing. Just the fact that she's in these evacuation centers is atrocious. Like, it's like, you know, having sex offender run your goddamn junior high prom. It's mental. It's like, and how much that these people idolize these folk and want them there. And it's like, oh my gosh. Oh, this is rough to watch some of this stuff. But, that was a complete, that was an act of, it is so much just blatant murder happening. It's just so fucking blatant. And who knows how many places they have on set on fire, and these 1,100 fires and stuff. Like, where do we even go? They're gonna burn the whole fucking place down. And in the footage and shit with the people trying to evacuate and them not telling them, and people were saying that they were feeling like their skin was on fire, but that would have been microwave weapons would make you feel like that. And that's why people were jumping in the water. I don't know. A lot of footage, it was everything was on fire and people were jumping in. But I know that they're using these weapons. Yeah, I mean, I know we don't need to worry about the nukes. It's this stuff, and this, there's a reason why they put certain things inside of us. And there is, some with accelerants that they've sprayed around on things. So things just go up. And all this stuff is just done on purpose. But we also have like a volcano going off, and I don't know if they initiated that as well, or if the land mass is going to start also fighting back against what's happening, because there's an energy, if you want to call it ancient, because what were they saying? They were calling it like the ancient gods and stuff over in Hawaii, like they know like these different ones' names and stuff that those people would pray to, like the land, the gods of the lands and stuff, the nature, those energies, those entities of like patrol, of care, of like the caretakers. It's like an energy or something. And so that is it is that is a part of also what is going on, because it is like this energetic purge. And there's been like stifled energy being held back by dark energy. And so that is explosive. So everything is like, you can see where the storm comes into play, because it's all such chaotic energy. It's all this fighting. It is like an energetic, like a tornado, or it's like this big energetic whirlwind of dark and light. It's just like because the light was being so stifled for so long, and the dark was so, but we had all the fancy lights to distract, but the dark was growing, and it became so inside of people, like integrated through people's lives, through their state of being. It started becoming like a part of people's lives, a part of their experience. It was so deep into the experience with the darkness. But it was any of the light can be stifled and pushed back. But now all of the light is like pushing through. It's like pushing through. And so it's causing all of this energetic whirlwind. So we have like this huge energy whirlwind, like this giant storm has to happen, and then there has to be the aftermath, like in the whole micro macro whole schism of the whole thing. Like these certain things have to play out. That's how change is created. It's how things occur. So, we have to go through this, and there's gonna keep, like even in Pittsburgh or something, this house just blew up. And I was caught on somebody's doorbell footage. It looks so freaking fake. It's crazy. But it blew up, and it caught like 5 houses on fire or something. So a bunch of people got killed in that one too. And so who knows? Like, oh man, some of this stuff though, the real quick, that's just a quick way out. Like, hurry and get out of this game. There's going to keep being a lot of those just really sudden deaths and stuff. And so much with this chaos and this energy, so much purging, so much emotion. And, like they're trying to just burn everything down around us. And, oh man. And I take away everybody's health, and then we're just leading right into winter. Like already they were saying in Maui, now they've got all these people homeless, and now there's about to be another big rainstorm is about to blow in. It's just like they just don't stop, man. And then they keep on, oh, well, it's climate change. It's not us. It's like, we're not doing it. What do you think? We got machines that do this shit? Like, yeah. Matter of fact, we know that is what's going on. And there's a whole bunch more weird stuff coming out with Looking Glass and the Trumps and these drops and these they're always like comps or signs or something. And so Ivanka just did some in France that were very strange and unusual. Like, they're always dropping hints and stuff. And then somebody was looking at like the Q drop that matched the number, but I can't remember what it was. All of this stuff though is leading up to this big moment. And with Trump, it just is like they got to get this guy who everybody hates because he gets so much attention. So he gets people to pay attention. So he's such a big part of the awakening thing. But there's where people are saying ever since his uncle had access to Tesla's stuff, that they have had access to Looking Glass or time travel or something. There's all this weird stuff, like even this one thing from 1920s, and it is a train, and it was called Trump. It was like Trump train. I mean, how many times have we heard that? It's just like, just weird stuff. And so, I don't know what all of the different things that are going to come out. Like if we've been with people who are capable of just traveling through time because their consciousness is so advanced beyond ours, and we're just all handicapped or something. Like, I don't know. Like, who knows? We're going to definitely have a big jump, There's going to be this quantum leap into, technology that is far beyond anything that we could ever imagine. And it's so crazy, like all this stuff that we have to keep going through. Like, oh my God, I cannot believe the fires and the footage of all these fires. It's just like, and, another thing too is, there's going to be more and more people that are going to stop going to work. There's going to be all sorts of reasons. They'll just stop going to work. And that is where things are going to start shutting down. Like right now, I feel like so many things are just being like band-aided. Like Band-Aids are holding together so much of our infrastructure. And it's just right on the verge of just complete collapse. Where, no trash men will be coming. There will be, everything will shut down, and then it's going to have to be, come back up. And I don't know if they're going to just do it all like as part of the taking us from one system to the next. I mean, some of this stuff is playing out so different than what I was expecting. Like, I know like the overall general thing, but then it's hard to know exactly like what each thing is going to be. Like, you can know there's going to be a whole bunch of disasters and a whole bunch of people are going to lose their homes, but you don't know for sure exactly how. And when they just come in so obvious and just start torching them, just start torching us, just start blowing houses up and shit, and just like, fuck. Like, you just be sitting here and they just fucking surge your house and just blow it up. But, that's a quick way out. Like, you know, or if that's your thing, it's just come walking out of the flames and don't be, uh, don't be like, not bothered, don't be affected by them. But, it's also hard to, if your house blows up, to not think like that you're going to blow up with it. So, but, all that stuff, you don't have to be. Oh yeah, and then there was another one too where there's another craft that crashed. There's like one craft after another. People are catching these weird ass storms over by Michigan. The Nibiru thing, where I'm constantly saying this, like this giant shadow you can fucking see. It's a giant fucking planet. And I said, it's like in certain places you can see different things. And on this, it's like you just see half the planet. And it is, and I like, there's so much stuff. Like, even how our planet really is. Like, we're just at like different levels. We're not really this solid thing like what we think. We're just all, we go through portals and stuff to go where we're going. It's not, I don't know. Everything is so different than what they tell us. Everything is so different. And it's like we have to unwrap our minds from what they tell us so that we can absorb what the real reality is. And, what was that? There's this movie I was just watching. This movie I just popped on. Always these things just come on, and this was something with the Loch Ness monster. But it started talking about the energy, how they were going to kill it. It was all the same things. The technology set them right there, and then and what happens when you use them, and then. And then there's so much coming out, about this re-releasing like dragons and dinosaurs that are extinct and all that stuff. And I think I had already said about that woman in Canada who said that she's sure that she saw like a pterodactyl or something out flying. She'd never seen anything like it. And then there's other people saying other things. But, that's exactly what they would do, is like release, dinosaurs and monsters to come kill us and then not tell us. Or they could even find some and they wouldn't tell us. We would just be food. As they just don't. It's so crazy how people trust these people and they do not care about us whatsoever. Like, I don't even think that they even want to be bothered with giving us a number. Like, we mean so little to them. We are just the same thing as like how we look at ants. That's how they look at us. And, but, I always feel like there's going to be more and more that are going to come out about the truth, about the lands being stolen. The places not, the histories being so different. Like, America, for them to come in and say like, oh, America, became colonies and all that shit. That was just part of their fucking takeover. America was already discovered. There was people living here. It was productive places, productive communities. It wasn't just discovered. No, it was when they fucking came over and just took it over and killed all these fucking people who occupied those lands, who tended those areas, who were it's like the God given lands. It's like their birthright. It's like where your tribe is birthed. Even though there was all of that, moving around and stuff, the most of the tribes and stuff, like those, like the Aborigines, like they've been in those lands for a long time. So the moving around was such a long time ago, and it was kind of like if that's part of the experiment, is to put them all out, all these different tribes, and then everybody was going to have to eventually come back together, but to go out and develop themselves. But it's always about this acceptance of others, not trying to control others. There's a big thing like about humans want to control other people, but in a soul world, that is not what you want to do. That's like bad karma. You don't want to be controlling other people. You don't want to be forcing people to do things or any of that stuff. That's putting things out of balance. That's making like bad karma for yourself. Then it's like your consequences, like their consequences are associated with your consequences, but your consequences should have nothing to do with theirs. Like, we should be independent. We shouldn't be over other people and being over them and trying to control them. Everybody, even children, should be respected as souls, as beings. Just as we need to learn to expect or respect all different animals and everything. And I guess another horrible thing that's going on is, like, I knew that tons of people were dumping their animals and stuff. I was just seeing so many horrific videos. But so there's a woman who has a sanctuary, and she was given like the whole hierarchy of how it works for the rescue system. And so it's so overrun in all different areas that they're calling people in sanctuaries, trying to get them to take these animals, so that because they have to keep refilling and refilling. People are just dumping their animals. And this woman was talking about, during the beginning of quarantine, all these people got puppies. Everybody decided to get a puppy. And then while they were sitting there with their puppies, they decided that they would let their puppy have puppies. And so we got overrun with tons and tons of people having puppies, and then nobody wants the puppies. And so we've got so many, backyard breeders just having extreme amount. And then all these people don't even want their dogs anymore. Now that they are out of quarantine, now they are just, wanting to be more mobile or something. So that is a part of that divide, though, part of the shallowness. I mean, I know that there's some people who legit can't take care of these animals, that they can't take care of themselves and they can't take care of the animals. I know the animals are here to teach the people, but there is what was I going to say? Because there is such a maybe I'm not supposed to say it. Maybe it was going to be too judgmental or something. Maybe it was going to, because I know that there's people who legitimately can't take care of themselves. It's just so extreme how many people are going in, and so many people are going homeless and stuff. Like, I just can't imagine. Like, I dread when Stella is going to leave me. I just can't imagine just giving her up. Like, and I know that her and I would share a crust of bread to stick together, like I would give up, my food for her. So I know a lot of people don't have those same relationships with their animals. They're more disconnected, but I don't know. Man, it's so fucking hot too. Like, it's crazy how the temperatures here are, and how it'll suddenly just be like, they do like turn up the heat somehow. It's so weird. I don't know. This place is so controlled. I really hope that my trees, that's why I'm here though, if they're going to hit us with the EMF and start a fire, it's mostly is wood. Like for them to try and burn down the houses, like most of the houses are in the, except for like these new ones. But I had said that wouldn't surprise me if that over there is going to be like they're going to hit a gas line or something. It's so crazy, all the noise and stuff that keeps going on and all this. It's just so intrusive and so loud. Just everything is so extreme right now. It's just like you're just waiting for any second for it to just pop. So I don't know. I mean, they burned down so many forests, but right now they're actively trying to, destroy people's homes. And then on these coastal towns like Houston and Tacoma are right on the coast. And so is that to cause a big problem because they're going to have people come across the bay or something? Like, fuck, I don't know. Fuck, who knows what this shit. Every time you think like it's got to be almost over and it just goes on and on and on. I think it's a good thing though that they're recycling characters. Like that's got to be a good sign that they're running out of players. And so they're having to put them in multiple roles or something. I don't know. And then plus there's more stuff where they're saying they're gonna impeach Joe, and more just drama and stupid shit, just absurdity shit with him, smiling, saying no comment when they ask him about all the people dying in Maui and stuff. Like, they've just got to keep making this guy look like such a total garbage person. And then when you see some of these videos and stuff, it's like, are these videos just being released, cause us to get mad? Like this old man go in when all these fucking people who have had their houses, they're living in their great grandparents' houses. Like these are ancestral homes, and that they've just got it all taken from them and lost family members and everything. And then this guy is just wanting to be out there, promoting for this great new rebuild when they've already come out and said it's for a 15-minute city, like their luxury 15-minute cities that they can charge billions of dollars for these places to go over. So, Jesus Christ, like they know how to create criminals. They know how to create people who will just do anything for money. And then the people who have the money, they just keep giving them all of the best places. They just take them and take them and take them. Take all these islands and stuff. Just push the native people back out of their own lands. It's just so crazy as how it's just being done right in front of us. But then to know how it's been, the history of how they, colonized, how they went in and took it. And even after I was saying that, in that history little lesson thing I saw today, it was the missionaries, which that fucking banyan tree is a symbolization of this relationship with the missionaries. Like, it seems like that tree should have just went up in flames, really, because all of that was the start of the descent of the people. And then they made this agreement with the missionaries and were, working well with them. It's like what they showed in the movies back in the day. And then, but it was just to get this other group in to infiltrate. So, and they did it through the farming too, and through sugar cane and export of sugar, and we'll get you a lot of money. And then they sneak in their people in business, and then they start doing it like a corporation, and then they override the governing force, even if they are the royalty. And they just say, well, you don't have a say anymore, we do. They treat it like a corporation, like it's a vote or something. They just go in and just take over. And, and all the people who ever have fought them, they just kill them. They just do slaughters. And then the people who they always have boots on the ground are people who don't care, or they're like robotic. They're just go do what they're told. These lynchmen, these henchmen, these instigators, these troublemakers. Like there's all sorts of weird shit that just keeps going, and all, man, it's just like everything is going so crazy. And it's like, God, is it just gonna just go so crazy and just get worse and worse, and then it's just gonna blow, and then we're gonna see the aftermath? Like it keeps seeming like that somehow it's gonna stop before something, like after one bad thing, you'd think, okay, well now it's gonna stop, but it just keeps going. It's like, oh my gosh, like, fuck. It's like so many people, so many more people get hurt every day. But I get that it's all part of the awakening, waking people up. But God, so crazy how just more and more people, all these fires now, like they already destroyed all that when everybody got our attention, but now it's gonna go through all these different places and just start burning them all down. Like, are we all going to have to, have these big dramatic escapes, these big dramatic evacuations that are just really a honey trap? Like, I don't know. It's just like you just got to keep going with the flow. I just know that there's great stuff ahead, and I know that death isn't real. I know that, destiny, there's nothing we can do about destiny. There's nothing you can do about the part that you're here to play, the role that you're here to play. It's not like you can go and change it. It was written. It was already written. It was written for you. The script was handed to you. Like, it was already pre-approved. So you can't go off of it. It's like you have to play your part. Once you're birthed in, your part is started, and your like I said, it's like a domino goes. Knew it was coming. Anyways, I don't know if I'll be able to put this on, so we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen next.